From the PEP Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. Pope Leo XIV met Monday with one of the most prominent advocates for greater LGBTQ+ inclusion in the Catholic Church and encouraged his ministry just days before a planned Holy Year pilgrimage of LGBTQ+ Catholics to the Vatican in a sign of continued welcome. The Reverend James Martin, a New York-based Jesuit author and editor, said Leo told him he intended to continue Pope Francis's policy of LGBTQ+ acceptance in the Church and encouraged him to keep up his advocacy. I heard the same message from Pope Leo that I heard from Pope Francis, which is the desire to welcome all people, including LGBTQ people, Martin told the Associated Press after the audience. It was wonderful. It was very consoling and very encouraging and frankly a lot of fun. The meeting, which lasted about a half hour, was officially announced by the Vatican in a sign that Leo wanted it made public. The audience was significant because it showed a strong sign of continuity with Francis, who more than any of Leo's predecessors worked to make the Catholic Church a more welcoming place for LGBTQ+ Catholics. From his 2013 quip, "Who am I to judge?" about a purportedly gay priest to his decision to allow priests to bless same-sex couples, Francis distinguished himself with his message of welcome. In other news, Rudy Giuliani is recovering from a fractured vertebra and other injuries following a car crash in New Hampshire in which he was a passenger, a spokesperson for the New York City mayor said Sunday. Giuliani was being driven in a rented Ford Bronco by his spokesperson, Ted Goodman, when their vehicle was struck from behind by a Honda HR-V driven by a 19-year-old woman late Saturday evening, New Hampshire State Police said in a statement. Troopers witnessed the crash, which caused both vehicles to hit the highway median and then left them heavily damaged, State Police said. Goodman and the 19-year-old suffered non-life-threatening injuries and were taken to hospitals for treatment, the agency added. State Police said they are investigating the crash and no charges have been filed. Giuliani, age 81, was taken to a nearby trauma center and was being treated for a fractured thoracic vertebra, multiple lacerations and contusions, as well as injuries to his left arm and lower leg, according to a statement posted on X by Michael Ragusa, Giuliani's head of security. It's tomato season, and Lydia is harvesting on farms in California's Central Valley. She's also anxious. Attention from U.S. Immigration Control and Enforcement could upend her life more than 23 years after she illegally crossed the U.S.-Mexico border as a teenager. The worry is they'll pull you over when you're driving and ask you for your papers, said Lydia, who spoke to the Associated Press on condition that only her first name be used because of her fears of deportation. We need to work. We need to feed our families and pay our rent. As parades and other events celebrating the contributions of workers in the U.S. are held Monday for the Labor Day holiday, experts say President Donald Trump's stepped-up immigration policies are impacting the nation's labor force. More than 1.2 million immigrants disappeared from the labor force from January through the end of July, according to preliminary Census Bureau data analyzed by the Pew Research Center. That includes people who are in the country illegally as well as legal residents. Immigrants make up almost 20% of the U.S. workforce, and that data shows 45% of workers in farming, fishing, and forestry are immigrants, according to Pew senior researcher Stephanie Kramer. About 30% of all construction workers are immigrants and 24% of service workers are immigrants, she added. For a few hopeful weeks this summer, a bright billboard on the major highway linking Toronto to New York greeted Canadian drivers with a simple message: Buffalo loves Canada. The marketing campaign, which included a $500 gift card giveaway, was meant to show Buffalo's northern neighbors they were welcome, wanted, and missed. At first, it seemed like it might work, said Patrick Kaler, CEO of the local tourism organization Visit Buffalo Niagara. More than 1,000 people entered the giveaway, but by the end of July, it was clear the city's reliable summer wave of Canadian visitors would not arrive this year. Buffalo's struggle reflects a broader downturn in international tourism to the U.S. that travel analysts warn could persist well into the future. From northern border towns to major hotspots like Las Vegas and Los Angeles, popular travel destinations reported hosting fewer foreign visitors this summer. Experts and some local officials attribute the trend that first emerged in February to President Donald Trump's return to the White House. They say his tariffs, immigration crackdown, and repeated jabs about the U.S. acquiring Canada and Greenland alienated travelers from other parts of the world. To see the traffic drop off so significantly, especially because of rhetoric that can be changed, is so disheartening, Kaler said. That's the news at this hour. To see the extended version of this last story, visit the PEP Radio YouTube channel. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.